Joining me now is Kacy Perry with Bayer, and you are the soybean business lead. And we're here at Commodity Classic in Denver, Colorado. But before we get all into that, Kacy, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in agriculture, and in your own right, you are a FarmHER.
I actually grew up on a farm in East Central Illinois in a tiny little town called Windsor. There were 28 kids in my graduating class. And I will say what really set the foundation for my career in agriculture that helped me really understand what I wanted to do was my experience in the National FFA Organization.
And go into that a little bit more because you are a National FFA officer, which, I mean, what a pristine and prestigious role, I should say, and what an honor, obviously, to not only represent the organization on a state level, but then on a national level as well.
Yeah, I was so honored to be the Illinois State FFA President a few years ago. And it was such a cool experience to get to see small towns throughout the state of Illinois and to get to meet members and see what they wanted to accomplish. But then I never thought I'd have a chance to be a national officer, but to go through the process and to hear your name called and have that experience was absolutely incredible. I mean, what kid gets the opportunity to travel across the United States of America learning about agriculture? I think I went to 37 states in 1 year learning about agriculture and the FFA chapters in those states. I mean, I can attribute everything that has helped my career at Bayer to what I learned in the FFA organization, without a question.
Well, let's go into that then. What your role looks like at Bayer, how long you've been with the company, and kind of what you're rolling out here at Commodity Classic.
Yeah, I actually started as a field sales trainee right out of college and in Illinois. And so started as a sales rep. And 15 years later, here we are. And I'm honored to be our North America soybean business lead. So it's been cool to actually be starting out selling these products to farmers, working with our dealers, understanding what farmers' problems are, to being at Commodity Classic, launching a product like Viconic soybeans. Sometimes I blink and I can't imagine, what has happened over the last few years and that I got to be this lucky.
Yeah. Well, Bayer, they do a great job of obviously connecting farmers and ranchers. Those who I would say that grew up on a farm, grew up on a ranch, but also now are on the more corporate side of things, but they still get to be a part of the community. What's that like for you, obviously, the way you grew up, then being involved in the FFA organization, and now having this role and this lead here at Bayer?
Oh, I think it's all about advocating on behalf of agriculture, right? We know that it's fun to get to talk to farmers every day. It's fun to get to talk about what farmers are trying to accomplish on their operations. And then to know that every single day that I get up and go to work, we're working on bringing products that are going to add value to farmers' operations, that we get to launch cool new technology, that I get to come to a show like this and talk to farmers directly. I mean, it's great to see that connectivity between a company like Bayer and really wanting to hear and understand what's important to the farmer.
Yeah. For any individuals at home, specifically females, because, we do our show FarmHER and Rancher, and that's why I said you're a FarmHER, because the way you grew up and then your role now in the industry, what advice or words of encouragement would you give them, especially if they don't want to go back to the farm, if they want to come in more of a corporate space, but still be connected to agriculture?
Yeah, I would say that I had no clue what I wanted to be when I grew up. I think about the experience that I had through FFA and getting exposed to different companies, to different opportunities of careers in agriculture. I still had no clue what I wanted to be when I grew up, when I got done being a national officer. And so what I would tell people to do, the biggest piece of advice that I got and what I try to do every single day in this job is be curious, right? By truly taking interest in others and understanding their experiences, understanding what they love about their job. I mean, it just opened my eyes to all the opportunities that are available within this industry, outside of this industry, right? People love to tell you their stories. They love to tell you what's led them on their journey. And if you're just a genuinely curious person, I think you're going to learn so much about opportunities that you never would have dreamed possible. I mean, I never would have dreamed that I would be I didn't even know that the North America Soybean Business Lead was a job title, right?
Yeah.
And so just by being curious, by learning from others and just being open to getting that advice, I think you can go a million different places.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for expanding on what Bayer does, your role with Bayer, and obviously just giving us the knowledge and the words of encouragement for everyone at home, especially you FarmHERs and ranchers out there. There's a seat at the table for you. So thank you so much for speaking with us here at Commodity Classic.